Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, okay? As it is written, because this goes back to the book of Malachi, and it's also written through the Apocrypha. As it is written, Jacob, you so called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, also including the speckled birds. You look like all the nations because we're scattered amongst the nations. So you bear the faces of the other nations, but your father, his seed, his heritage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, meaning Yasharallah, he prince of power. As it is written, Jacob, who this world refers to as Israel, Yasharallah have I loved, but Esau, the self-proclaimed white man, your self-proclaimed European, have I hated. Okay, this is the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Which shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. And why is this? Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the creator of this story, the creator of this universe. Okay. Everything is playing out by his will. All right. Call Haloyim La, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Ak with, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan, and this is going to be part two to E, high off pride. Straight smoking. I'm starting to think there's a new drug that they give in the administration of United States of America. Part steroid, part cocaine, heroin, and meth. Whatever is taken to boost their ego, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has given them direct doses of this medication because they're truly high. I did part one earlier. It was a short, but now I have the time, so we're going to get into it, okay? We're going down farther here to Romans 9 and 21. Have not the potter power over the clay? Who is the potter? Yahweh, the creator, once again, of this universe, this multi-mass universe that we live in, the creator of all things that we know that exist. Okay, over the clay. What is the clay? Everything that he has created, including all humanity. Okay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor. Okay, that would be your beautiful vase, and another unto dishonor. And as the apostles say and the elders, that'd be your ashtray, your toilet, they're all formed from a potter. Okay. What if Yahweh Bashem Yahushua willing to show his wrath? And in this situation, Salakia, let's back that up. Have not the pot Salakia, have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor. That honor vessel would be Jacob, once again, Yasharallah, and another unto dishonor, being Esau Edom, who we know both of these are twin brothers, but of different nations, of different men, because this is directly how Yahweh Bashem Yahushua planned it. Read Genesis 25, okay? What if Yahweh Bashem Yahushua willing to show his wrath, his forgiveness, his passion, his love, his wrath, and to make his power known, the same thing he did when he delivered Israel out of the hands of the Egyptians, out of the Pharaoh, okay? Enduring with much long suffering, the vessel of wrath fitted for destruction, not fitted for forgiveness, fitted for destruction. That was the purpose that these people were put here, the Edomites, okay? So, we've entered World War III, and the horns are totally out when it comes to Edom. Okay, especially over here in spiritual Babylon, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, led by DJ Trump and his goons, the Epstein, the GOP, guardians of pedophiles. Okay, those people. And they're worldwide, as we know, but this is the hub of the evil, of the wickedness of these people. All right. The headquarters, if you want to call it. This is the book of Job 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The deceived and the deceiver is his. So once again, people, this Christianity has led people astray, thinking that God is some fat, jolly man sitting up in the heavens, and the devil is some red being with horns sitting underneath the ground with his minions and angels and this making up plots and going against everything that Yahweh Bashim Shai has set up to destroy it. No, that's not what this is. Yahweh Bashim Shai wants us in control of all things. Okay, and we're going to get that. All right. He leadeth counsels away, spoil. What's a council? A government. Okay. And he maketh judges fools. And that's exactly what we witnessing in this day. Starting here with spiritual Babylon, with all the pride and arrogance and oozing of their ego just coming out. Their decision making is leading to one disaster to another. Okay. Everything they touch is turning into ash and dust and crumbling right in front of their face. And ultimately, it's affecting the people. Okay. This is the book of Kings to back this up. All right. First Kings 22. And I love this story. And 19. And this is definitely where we are right now. Okay. Because DJ Trump has some of the worst advisors in his ear. And not alone, he doesn't listen to advisors, admittedly. Okay. Not the ones that are set up to actually stir spiritual Babylon into a place of prosperity. No, he's listening to everybody that's going to bring this place to a nigh into destruction. All right. So this is First Kings 22, verse 19. Okay. And he saith, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I saw Yahweh Bashim Yahushai sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left hand. What is the right hand? The righteous hand led by Yahweh Shai. What is the left hand? The deceiving hand led by who this were the spirit of Satan and the angels. Okay. Once again, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has command of all his creation. Okay. This is verse 20. And Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilgad? And one said on this manner, and another said on this manner. So he's literally conversating with the angels on what's the move. How are we going to accomplish this? Okay. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. Okay, once again, we're witnessing this today. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also and go forth and do so. Okay, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushua was pleased with this plan. Now, therefore, behold, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has put a lying spirit in the mouth of those, all these they prophets, and Yahweh Bashim Shah has spoken evil concerning thee. Okay, so this is ultimately the plan, and it's going to be carried out. Now let's get it. Look what we got here today. Lindsey Graham. Okay, they're tracking APAC. Now look what this fool has accomplished from APAC. And let's get this real quick. APAC, American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Okay, that's both sides. Your Republicans and Democrats, both sides of the dirty bird, are working underneath this umbrella, APAC. Okay, so your politicians don't give a damn about this country. If you do a little researching, um, at the end of last year, they all came together and they agreed upon 50 states and one Israel. And I would love to see them release the flag. But however, all right, the proof is in their actions. Is a major that bipartisan US based lobbying organization. Bipartisan means they both participate, that works to strengthen, protect, and promote the relationship between the United States and Israel. Once again, 50 states, one Israel. It operates as a political action committee, PAC, okay, to elect, listen to this, to elect pro-Israel candidates and influence U.S. policies. Okay, listen to this. Okay, focusing on security, corporations, and foreign aid. Foreign aid. That's that 30 billion that they receive a year out of our pockets. They're the welfares. Okay, all right, nothing to do with the people over here. Salakia. We're not doing that. The water Yahabashim Yahweh. All right, so they receive the welfare, not some one woman with a bonnet on her head, getting that little card. All right. Talking about she eat too much Popeyes and that making her the face of welfare when they're receiving it. Okay, man, we can go on. But anyway, this is the influence in this man right here. All right. 4,600,000. All right, going in his pocket to talk this shit. All right, and cause this confusion. Let's get it. Fair use, fair use. Section 107. I am not selling a product. This is strictly for educational purposes, and I pray that it be edifying for the body.
They're going to lose and we're going to win.
All
Israel
right,
and the United States, you just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks.
the next 2 weeks, meaning what?
We're going to blow the hell out of these people. This regime is in a death row now. It is going to be on its knees. It's going to fall. And when it falls, we're going to have peace like no other time.
Now, may I ask a question? Who is we? Is we including Lindsay? Is we including Lindsay's grandchildren? Barron Trump and all the relatives of those CPAC donors? Ben Juyunat's son is over here chilling in Miami right now? No, they is our children who they look down on. Okay, that's who is tasked to carry out this, and ultimately, what out here today, send your children out of here vertical, standing up, and they come back horizontal in them boxes. That's a perfect way to put it. That's who they are. They is. Let's get one more before we carry on.
Vance and funded him in a. You don't even have to trust us. Just follow the money. Vance and funded him in a. You don't even have to trust us. Just follow the money. Vance and funded him in a. You don't even have to trust us. Just follow the money. Vance and funded him in a.
Slovakia.
I've been your biggest champion. I think the Crown Prince has taken Saudi Arabia in a completely different direction in a good way.
Okay, let's get these verses before I move forward with that. This is the book of Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. Once again, there's nothing that DJ Trump could do about this. There's nothing that Kamala Harris would have been able to do different. This is the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is the timing and the schedule that we're on. All of these people are shady, and they all have their appointed time to fall together. Okay? Every way of man is right in his own eyes. So as much as you hear Trump boasting and bragging, he actually believes in his demented mind that things is going to go his way. Okay? But Yahweh Bashem Yahushua pondereth the hearts because he created it. He knows all that's going on through our little minds. There's nothing you can hide from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Not the elites, not the wisest, not the dumbest, because he created it. It's his story, and we're just role players in it. Pray that you be on the right side. Lord willing, I be on the right side of this story. Okay? Lakia. Not want to miss that. Okay.
But here's what I want to say to Saudi Arabia tonight. I'm willing to do a mutual defense agreement with your country to give you protection in perpetuity. Under the agreement I've been pushing, and I hope we can continue to talk about, if you're attacked by Iran, we would go to war for you.
It appears that the senator from South Carolina is now experiencing
I've been your biggest champion
to join the United States and Israel in attacking Iran. So here's more from Graham. Let's take a look.
If President Trump had not done this, they could have had a nuclear capability within months, weeks, not months. And if they had a weapon, they would use it. To all those who don't believe that, you're stupid. You're a fool, and I hate.
Now here's the problem. That's hard to believe when I'm 48 years old and this lie has been going on for at least 40 years out of their mouths that Iraq had weapons of massive destruction. They found none. Okay, 20-year endless war. All right, now I Iran, who they've been pushing, they've been wanting this war for so long. Ben Jew, you not Ben, not a Jew. Ben born Melkowski, always spilling out there minutes away, hours away, days away. Okay, don't we recall that they had just turned around months ago and said that they utterly destroyed all of their missile capability? Now you're right back there. Who hit who first? Both times they struck. Iran was at the table of negotiations with these fools. Obama already set up a plan that has seemed to be working. But once again, this is all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Be so harsh. People got Hitler wrong. Donald Trump is the right man at the right time. To our allies, if you can't join this fight, what fight are you going to join?
Now you hear that? Trump is the right man for this time. Didn't we just read that in the book of Proverbs 21? All the king's hearts, their mind belong to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and he pulls them in the direction he wants them to go. Okay, let's get this second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. What's the falling away? The loss of identities of you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, meaning we did not know that we were the 12 tribes of Yasharala. Okay, we did not know that those Ish people were uh, fakers living in our land. We had no clue. All right. Even though that there's been put in our face here and there, we had no clue until the time appointed time that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai raised back up the prophets, okay? The prophets, starting with Aqua Bivens, okay? There was men before him, but they didn't have, it wasn't their time to set forth this wisdom and knowledge, okay? Ultimately, in the 1960s, he said, this is the time to reactivate my children, okay? And bring them back forth to understanding. Those who he's chosen, the 1/3, the elect, the 2/3 who remain sleep on his side, all right? So that's the falling away. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's exactly where we're at today. Over and over, he is exposing these people. All right. Now, verse 4, who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Is not the mentality of these people? Well, who needs God? We create water, we create air. Okay, that's them. All right, all the illusions set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. What he say in Romans 9:12? 22, the wrath that's fitted for destruction, long suffering, the wrath of the vessel that is fitted for destruction, that is them. Okay, all right. Or that is worship. So let me go back to this four. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, or that is worship, so that he, as Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, sit up in the temple of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, showing himself that he is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now, what arrogance to have. But once again, this is the major ops of this story. So he can't be some pushover. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai build him up to be an opponent of his, which ultimately is going to get knocked over, which he's doing this world like dominoes right now. They just falling. That's why prophecies is falling out. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah 47. Oh, yes. And 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin, daughter of Babylon. Why does this say virgin? Because this is not referring to the old Babylon. This is the current Babylon that we live in now, spiritual Babylon, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritual Nineveh. Okay, all wrapped up into one. Virgin also meaning to you never been touched. We send out we send out the atomic bomb, okay? We bomb these lands. We have not been scratched on this soil. You know, we all know that 9/11 flagger took place, okay? And that wasn't even bombs even then, okay? So come down and sit in the dust. That means you're losing your power seat, okay? You're falling off of that throne that you so-called hold now. O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And you know, the police of the nation, the everything everywhere they go and whatever they touch, they're just doing right. They're just doing right by the world. Well, according to spiritual Babylon, the whole world is wicked, dirty, and dusty, and only they have righteousness within them, even though they've been given the sword. And by the sword, there's much blood dripping off of that sword. Okay? Take a millstone, and that millstone ultimately goes into them ICBMs. Okay? Take a millstone and grind mill. Uncover thy locks. Make bare thy leg, uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers, okay? Exposing this man's wickedness, like we already read. The man of perdition must be exposed. And that was Yahweh Shai speaking, okay? Saying that these things must come to pass. All right. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Are we not seeing it right now? I will take vengeance. Are we not seeing them blow up civilian sites and then trying to point the finger and say, no, we don't do that. We're not the only ones that own tomahawks. They say, well, hold on, only your allies own them. Oh, well, we don't know. Well, we go back to the radar and see that we go back to satellites and see that it was on your line of sight of firing. And it was your tool that did it. Hello, dummy. Hello, McFly, are you in there? Okay, just straight out liars. Okay, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, and we're not even gonna talk about Amalek. They've been doing this to Palestine, just school after school after school, hospital after hospital, shooting a sniper practice on these kids. Oh no, we would never hurt anybody innocent. We're only going after the soldiers. Okay, and not to mention the ops that they normally be shooting at are they've set up. They set up the confusion. Remember, they fund both sides of this thing always. The villain victims. Okay, y'all want to talk about that Holly and cost, but y'all don't talk about funding slave trades. Okay, how do we skip over that part? With a victim. Okay, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. The shame shall be seen. It is. And I will take vengeance. And then you still got our people thinking that these people deserve some type of credit or that we should stop portraying like we're them when they're not us. You fucking dummies. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. Thawada Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of host is his name, the Holy One of Yasharala. Okay?
I want to win it quick. I'm in
Okay.
Miami. You see this hat? Free Cuba. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
The liberation of Cuba is upon us. To Spain. You won't let us use your our air bases in your country to stop a homicidal regime from getting nuclear weapons that terrorize the world. To Lebanon. There is a military leader in charge of the Lebanese army that I don't trust as far as I can throw him. He is willfully ignoring Hezbollah. He's not disarming Hezbollah. There were rockets fired from areas that were supposed to be cleared by the Lebanese army. Let's get somebody in charge of the Lebanese military that will use it. To Saudi Arabia, our embassy was hit in Riyadh. Do you not have an obligation to join the fight with us? You have yet to do that. So if you do not believe the American embassy being attacked in Riyadh would trigger mutual self-defense, maybe we shouldn't do a treaty with you. To our friends in the United Arab Emirates, you joined the Abraham Accords when nobody else would. You've been a great partner, but you said today publicly at the UN, your country would not be used to join the fight against the Ayatollah's regime. This is so disappointing.
No way.
I want to win it.
Okay, did you hear that? He named down there, he named everything that's on the east of us, man. Everybody got to get it. Everybody's got to catch hell from E. You know, ultimately, if things was to go his way, he's the destroyer of this earth. Okay, what does the scripture say? The hammer of the earth. All right, and Thawada Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is gonna break it into pieces. Let's get this Obadiah. I got this earlier, but I didn't get to this point. Obadiah, 1 chapter, verse 7. Okay. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Now, he was talking about supposedly allies right there, threat after threats. Okay. I'm going to chop you up, put you in a mattress. That's on the song that, anyway, inside joke. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. So everybody that we was in alliance with, or at least that we thought, they thought that they was in alliance with us. Okay. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. And ultimately, this was stirred up. This wasn't displotted from these nations. This was stirred up from DJ Trump and once again, his host of Epstein GOP, Guardians of Pedophiles. They brought this upon themselves. Okay? There is none understanding in him. You got to be crazy. Look, let's go back and listen to this again.
That Free Cuba. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
The liberation of Cuba is upon us. To Spain.
They just threatened Africa. Africa done settled up, came and already started making moves. Okay? You boy. This World War III has not only started, but it ain't gonna take long.
You won't let us use your our air bases in your country to stop a homicidal regime from getting nuclear weapons that terrorize the world. To Lebanon. There is a military leader in charge of the Lebanese army that I don't trust as far as I can throw him. He is willfully ignoring Hezbollah. He's not disarming Hezbollah. There were rockets fired from areas that were supposed to be.
So you get the gist. He's at beef with everybody. He's got problems with everybody, right? He's just gonna sort it out through what? His blessing, the sword. Okay, so you get what this verse 7 is saying, okay? Now here it goes. 8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? Okay? The wise men out of Edom. That is all of their counsel. That's their government. That's their counselors. Once again, idiots like him. All right? Running the show. And understanding out the mount of Esau. Once again, what is a mountain? A government. So these are the fools that's been set up. Now, if you know anything about Trump's administration, he tried to get away with a lot of this shit in the first round, but he had people that were not yes men. He actually had advisors that would say, no, hold, stop. He got rid of them. The second time around, he's going in with all the idiots, with all the clowns. And somebody, this is a good saying. Somebody had just said, I heard this recently. If you take if you take a clown and put him in a palace, you don't make him a king. You turn the palace into a circus. Exactly. Okay. All right. Verse 9. And thy mighty man, O Teman, and Teman goes into your scientists, the Smith, you know, those bomb makers who started off as the Germans after World War II, got divvied up between Russia and the United States, okay? And that's how we have this powerful artillery today, because once again, this is the blessing of Edom, the sword, going back to Genesis 27, all right? And thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the ends that every one of the Mount Esau, once again, the governments of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Here we go. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. For what? Forever, forever, ever. Let's back that up. We're going one chapter over, one chapter back, one book back, Salakia, one book back, Amos chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for three transgressions of Edom, you can't get around it. There was never peace with Edom, ever, and will never be. And for four, what's 3 plus 4? 7. What is 7 in the scriptures? Perfection. Okay? So once again, for three transgressions of Edom, and for four, so for 7 perfection transgressions, I will turn away. I will not, Salakia. Let me get that straight again. Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, for three transgressions of Edom, and for four, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword to this very day. Hello, not ice, okay? Causing havoc on our people. We're starting with the northern tribe and southern tribe. You ain't seen the tip of it yet. Okay, but ultimately we know Jacob trouble will turn up when it gets to the southern tribe. All right, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did not cast off all pity. Never dreamed of it. Okay, and his anger did tear perpetuously, and he kept his wrath forever. For how long? Forever. So no, Edom is not done away with. It said that he kept his anger for Jacob forever. Okay, and now we know he's been exposed. But I will send a fire among Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. What is Basra? A people before a place, just like Israel is a people before a place. So wherever they are, but especially over here in spiritual Babylon. And ultimately, after they do their thousands of years of payback slavery, he's going to burn them all up. Bonfire. Okay, that is a promise from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Now, I pray that this has been edifying. We're going to end this on one of my favorite books, Isaiah 63. Just to let you know, these motherfuckers got it coming. They did not get away with a damn thing they did. It's just, once again, it's a appointed time for everything. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's story, and it's going to play out the way he read it. Okay? Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that come from Edom? From where? There's that word again. From who? Esau's people. Okay? With dyed garments from Basra. All right? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. That's them chariots, you know, who y'all calling AI Atlas today, and the UFOs and all such. No, we know exactly what they are. Ain't nothing unidentified about them. They're written throughout these scriptures. They're the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garment like him that trodeth in the wine fat. So what has Yahushua been doing? Stomping out these people, just punishing them, turning them just straight up, like you said, the wine fat, just stomping them grapes, making that wine, meaning exposing the blood, okay? And that's why this part right here is in red highlight. I'll say this every time I bring this up. This is the only place in this Bible you're going to find me use red highlight. I have trodden the wine. This is verse 3. This is Isaiah 63 and 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger. Oh, he's gonna forgive everybody because John 3:16 said he loved everybody. Not so. Keep reading. And trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. You get it now? I will stain all my remnant. He's going in. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is going straight in, as we would say, as a Jake. For the day of revenge is in my heart, in his mind, in his lob, and he just ready for Yahweh to snap his finger and tell him, Michael, and the host to go get him. Okay? And the year of my redeem is to come. All right. So this is a promise from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And once again, this is E. High off pride, part 2. I pray that this has been edifying. Shalom.